So this hand is kind of the fix. We're on the draw, but we have turn 1 discard spell into Dark Confidant into Liliana. And I'm just now realizing that a mountain is still in my deck, and I didn't actually intend for this to happen. I was trying out the mountain. This could potentially be like another manland, but mountain's okay too. So we don't have green, we don't have double black, but we do have the Tasker in our hand, which means that Dark Confidant can't punch us in the face for 6, which is nice. And now we have a Thoughtseize to go along with our Inquisition. So we have a decent amount of disruption. Opponent has a Finks and a Souls. And a Township to go with that Souls. Alright. So I think we're just going to take the Finks and play the Confidant and then try and find a way to beat this Souls. It's not going to be easy. I think it's easier to beat half of a Souls than a full part of Kitchen Finks. Game 1, Lingering Souls is not that easy to beat. We do have the one Maelstrom Pulse, we have some random removal spells, and sometimes they're forced to chump block, so maybe we can get a little something going here. Our opponent has the old duels, which is nice to see. I like that. And we'll see who wins, Dark Confidant versus Lingering Souls. Maybe we can reveal a Scavenging Ooze and eat the other half. Oh, there's a Kitchen Finks. Alright. Well, there's the Ooze. So the Tarmogoyf is currently a 3/4, so we're doing alright in that regard. So I think we just go Thoughtseize Tarmogoyf. Our opponent hasn't drawn anything. So Forest Township, Temple Garden. Yep, our plan's the same. We still play Tarmogoyf. No tax. We like our Confidant. We'll keep him around for now. Okay. Play this Ooze. The green floating. Bolt the Finks. Versus trigger on the stack. We shall eat the Finks. And then we can attack with our Tarmogoyf. Could potentially also attack with our Dark Confidant. I think that's reasonable. We have Tasker as an engine, and we have Liliana, so we kind of want to get rid of these spirits, especially since he has a Township. And it's also possible that he just doesn't block. Yeah, just didn't block. Great. So now we have to beat some Windrakes. Seems pretty easy with what we have in play. As long as our opponent doesn't like cast Souls and flash it back. That might be problematic. But it just kind of looks like our opponent's draw didn't pan out here. Our draw was great. There's a Smiter. It's not bad. It's pretty big. So, lightning bolt. And he just concedes. I had a lot of options that turn. I'm not sure what I was going to do, but it was going to be good. Regardless of what it was going to be good. So I could see siding out Confidants in this matchup. If he has like a quick bird into Smiter draw, like I don't have time to mess around with Confidant, so maybe it'll be different on the play. Maybe I'm supposed to cut these things, bring in Fulminators. And then we have a bunch of sweepers. We have Knight of Souls Betrayal, which kills all of his Lingering Souls and the backside of Kitchen Finks, which is pretty nice. It also makes things easier for Olivia to shoot down. I still like Grimloft Mancer, even though I have the Knight of Souls Betrayal. And then I could also see like cutting some Lilianas or cutting some discard. I feel like Liliana is the worst of these because it's pretty bad against Finks and Souls. Actually, maybe I'm supposed to have Leyline here. Because if he has Voice of Resurgence, then Leyline's actually really good. And if he has Finks, Smiter, Souls, I think he has Voice. So yeah, we're going to try the Leylines too. And then we can afford to cut some discard, I think. Oh, I also forget that he has Wiltleaf Legion in his deck, so maybe these Lilianas are actually just terrible. Yeah, we'll cut these Lilianas and then cut an Inquisition. So our deck is kind of a bastardization at this point. There's not a lot of cohesion here, and we don't have access to our best draws. Like, we don't have discard spell into Confidant, we don't have discard spell into Liliana potentially. The only real ways we have to sink our mana in the late game are Olivia and Tasigur, maybe Chandra, but maybe that's enough. Maybe these commands are also not great because he has Path to Exile as his removal. There's going to be some Abrupt Decays, I'm sure. And we don't really want to make him be discarding cards. It's alright. We're gonna put 2 Lilianas in instead of the commands. I think that's better. Liliana helps against flooding a little bit more anyway. Alright, so we have a Leyline but no land, unfortunately. Because obviously these cards are all great. But our opponent mulled to 6. So we have a Pulse to deal with some souls, which is pretty nice. And our opponent has a turn 1 birdie. Or Noble. Noble. Okay, so we have Tarmogoyf on 2. Like, these decks could potentially have Mind Sensor, and they could potentially side them in, so maybe I should have fetched main there. Thoughtseize, eh? Alright, have a peek. It's pretty unlikely that you get Mind Censored, but at the same time, there's basically no risk to playing around it. I don't lose anything, so I might as well play around it. I think our opponent has to take Tarmogoyf. Maybe not if they have a Path to Exile or something, but I feel like they only have 3 cards now. I could like kill this, kill a land. They're like super strapped on resources, so I feel like this Hierarch is a pretty easy decay target. We shall see. Okay, just takes the decay. Maybe as an answer to the Goyf. Yeah, there's the bird. So do we want our 3rd red source or 3rd black source? I think red source, considering we have Chandra and Olivia. Oh, now we have a lightning bolt. Should I actually try to constrain my opponent's mana, or just play out this Tarmogoyf? Curious. I wonder why I would take Decay. Why would you take decay? Especially if you have another bird. I think we play Tarmogoyf. If we get Path, we get like our mana right back. So Thrun Dad. Alright, that makes more sense. The Thrun Father. Send her 3/4 into his 4/4. Nothing fishy here, I swear. Wow. The hero block. The hero block. Awkward. So very awkward. Our opponent just thought-seizing himself to death. Oh, the hero block. I appreciate it, but fairly ballsy. Now, do we want the beater or do we want to kill the township? I think we want to kill the township. Don't really want him to start making some super powerful birds of paradises. Ah, there's the voice. I knew it was there. And our opponent's hellbent. So that's all we have to beat. Which is good. I can do that. I think I can do that. Oh dear. So do I just bolt that token now, or do I bolt a bird to keep him off 4 mana? I feel like Wiltleaf Liege is one of the cards I could potentially lose to. Township is also a card I could potentially lose to. If I go bolt your bird and he draws souls, then he has a 4/4 elemental and some 1/1s, which will certainly be tough to deal with. I guess if I bolt the elemental, there's nothing I really lose, right? Because no matter what he draws, Goyf is still bigger than it. I just don't want him to draw a township, and then we have to play this game where we're sitting here looking at each other. I guess that favors me, though, because I have my 1 mana thing versus a 5 mana thing. Probably should have fetched a forest there for potential scavenging ooze, but now we have Twilight Mire, so it doesn't really matter. 4 creatures in the graveyard. Alright, Terminate helps. I do like my spot. Little birdie jump blocker. What is this? Path. I no longer like my spot. Alright, we need Chandra, Liliana, something. Tassiger? Jeez, Tassiger would be good. Uh-oh. Soul's Flashback? Nope. Wiltleaf Liege. Well, I should dismember, so we're up a top deck basically. Oh, that's nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. So Tasigur Lavamancer is not really a combo in the early game, but in the late game, it is a combo. What do we want? Not Fulminator, not really Decay. We can tap an extra mana. And then, I guess we might as well just go for Lightning Bolt, right? Opponent's at 5, etc., etc. I guess there's no need to really do this now, but whatever. Alright, we'll get a Thoughtseize back. Thanks, useless Tasigur. Why couldn't you just mill lands? Alright, that's pretty good. He has to kill the Lavamancer instead of the Tasigur. I like it. I am at double Tasigur activation range. This is pretty sweet. And he's in the Abyss. And we have Olivia. So we drew pretty well here. I believe this is the game. Two lethal threats. What do you got? Nothing. Big shocker. Alright. So this is supposed to be one of the toughest matchups. Obviously got a little bit lucky there with our opponent choosing to block with Thrawn, I think. Had that not happened, we almost certainly would have lost to it the way this game played out. So that was pretty fortunate, but opponent thought we were just trying to make a move, bluffing some damage. He was having none of it. It didn't work out though. So 1-0, and Jund is great.